US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has acknowledged being in direct competition with China as Beijing continues to exert influence in the Pacific during a visit to New Zealand. Our Sky News New Zealand Bureau Chief Jessica Maggio has all the details from Wellington.
He certainly didn't mince his words when he described that competition between the United States and China as they battle for some kind of power in the Pacific, and that's been going on for some time now. So it comes as no surprise that Antony Blinken made this visit to Wellington today to visit his Kiwi counterpart, Foreign Affairs Minister Nanaia Mahuta. He's just arrived here from Tonga, where he's conducting a Pacific tour. There he essentially dedicated a new US embassy, and so when he was there, he described he described China's behaviour in the Pacific as problematic, and he elaborated on that further today, saying that he believed New Zealand was a friend and a leader for all matters in the Pacific, really leaning into that and saying that he understood that people like New Zealand, countries like New Zealand, also other countries in Europe and indeed some countries in West Asia have that problematic, complex relationship with China. Given the
intense competition that we're in, we have different visions, different views. It's vitally important that we communicate, that we make sure that the competition doesn't veer into conflict. And that really does start with talking, with engaging in a sustained way. That's exactly what we're doing. We have almost exactly the same approach as our partners here, throughout the region, and in Europe.
Foreign Affairs Minister Nanaia Mahuta made a point of saying that Pacific leaders are solely focused on climate change, so she'll welcome involvement from China and the United States, so long as the interest is in climate change and helping to control that. There were also discussions about AUKUS and whether there'd be any more involvement from New Zealand for either Pillar 1 or Pillar 2 as it currently stands. Nanaia Mahuta made it very clear, as Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has done in the past, saying that New Zealand has a nuclear-free stance and won't change on that, but she said that she was considering more opportunities with Pillar 2.
But we need to bear in mind that with members of AUKUS and indeed those of our close partners, we're already agreeing on a number of fronts across a range of issues that serve our common interests, which both of us have already discussed from a security and defence point of view, but also from a trade and economic point of view.
Now, Antony Blinken is also in New Zealand celebrating the FIFA Women's World Cup and supporting the US team. He's watching the match today. They are versing the Netherlands, so a very anticipated match between the two winners and I guess the losers of the previous FIFA Women's World Cup, the Netherlands. But he is heading to Australia next to continue this Pacific tour.